Hi guys and welcome back. So one of my Discord members had some issues with weapon spawning and stuff like that. So I thought in this video I would show a much better way to actually create a weapon system than what I saw in the video he sent. So let's get started first of all. So let's just create a new folder. So let's just call this weapons if I spelled it right. So we open that up. Now the way we'll be handling weapons is we'll be having one base class. The problem which I saw in what he had done in that video is that he had not really made use of the inheritance hierarchy that you can create. So having a proper inheritance hierarchy is really useful. Now if you are experienced with UE, so if you are well versed with making games in Unreal Engine, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. So I just looked into the blueprint. So that blueprint in the clip he sent had uh, parts outside of what he wanted to show where he was casting depending on the weapon. So you don't really need to do that if you have a common class. So I'll just be showing you that. Of course, you can have your own implementation. You are completely free to modify this approach. Now I will be mentioning some reasons why I'm going with this as well. First of all, let's actually create our base class. Now, if you're doing this in C++ as well, the procedure is going to be pretty much the same. So if you guys want a reference, you guys could message me over on my Discord server in the Unreal Engine channel. I would respond over there and maybe give you guys a view of what I have in my own game. So the template gives us nothing much to start. It's just a weapon. So now let's create our own class. So create a new blueprint class of type actor, and we'll be calling this weapon master. And just for our reference, let's just prefix that with BP so we know it's a blueprint class. So open that up. Now what this is going to be the base class or the parent class, as some of you might recognize it, for all the weapons that we'll be having in our game. So right now it's parented to actor, and this is exactly what we want. And one more thing is we don't need this thing to actually tick. It's just wasting our performance. So it's fine if you have a small game, but if you have a game where you will have tens of weapons, so this can cause issues. So it should be under class defaults. Start with tick enabled, just disable that. And inside of here, so this is going to be the weapon that the player is going to be holding. So let's just add a skeletal mesh. So the skeletal mesh, let the default scene root be here. For the pickup, however, we'll be adding a static mesh, and there will be no, default scene root because we want the mesh to simulate physics. So we'll only be having the skeletal mesh. Of course, if you have attachments, you can of course bring in some child components to this. Let's just name this weapon model. And for now, just let's just have a cube of some sort, skeletal cube. Let's just have this. I mean, I'm sure the scale's not fine, but it's okay for now. Now, what we are going to be doing is we'll be creating a bunch of variables. So first one is going to be called damage. This of course depends on the type of weapon you have. If you have a projectile based weapon, you do damage and some variables related to the projectile motion. You wouldn't really do the same variables which I have over here. So just copy those over a bunch of times. So we'll be having the range, and then what else do we have for a weapon? So we would be having penetration, penetration, and we shall be having the ammo count. So this however depends on what type of a system you have. So in my game's case, I don't have an ammo variable inside of here. However, what you can have is an ammo size variable. So this one's going to be magazine size. So you cannot store more ammo than this. So you'd use this when you're performing the logic for your reloading and stuff. So that's where you'll actually use it. So, and we could have an enum. Let's just create that. Now, of course, I'm not showing you guys exactly how to do it. It will vary depending on your use case. But so go to blueprints, go to enumeration, and let's just create weapon type. So let's just have two for now. You can create your own. So first one's going to be hit scan. Again, you don't need to follow me on this. You can skip ahead a few seconds if you don't want to follow it. So another type you could have is maybe projectile. Maybe we can have a melee weapon as well, which is neither. So melee. Hope I spelled that right, but you get the point. So we can create the enumeration here. And if we just go ahead and compile it, so let's just call this type. Now what you would see is that we get the type. So let's just assume this one's a hit scan weapon, and let's just proceed with that. Now what's important here is we know which variables to replicate and which to not. In this case, however, we don't need to replicate any variables. However, let's assume you're making a more complicated game. So let's say you're making a game which has a skin to the weapon. So if you want to store the skin that the weapon has, so we could store it as a string. So skin maybe. So string. So in this case, let's just call this camo. I mean, it could be anything. In this case, this one has to be replicated if you are making a multiplayer game. If you're making a single player game, you could completely skip this step. So this is the procedure that you would adopt. So we can use this variable so that other players would be able to see it. Things like this, the reason we are not making them replicated is because they are constant values. So for a given weapon, these values are not going to change. So let's just compile that and head back in. Now, we are not going to be spawning this. Let me be very, very clear. This is not something that we are going to be spawning. And yeah, I also have a recoil variable and stuff. Let's actually add that. So recoil curve or recoil pattern would be more of a recognizable name. So recoil pattern, and this one's going to be of type vector curve. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you guys can check my video out on the recoil curve. So it should be there, curve vector. Yes. So what this is you can actually create a defined recoil pattern using the curve vector which the engine provides. Now that we have this, we can also have a pickup class. So what you've got to do with this is go ahead and create another actor and call this one pickup. Now there are multiple ways you can do it. So you could have one pickup which will have the common interact interface. I'll tell you guys how to do that as well. And then, not copy it actually, you can right click and create a child blueprint class and call this one weapon pickup. The reason we are doing this is so that we won't need to reference each individual type of actor. So if we are talking about pickup, we can generalize the functions. So we only use a BP weapon pickup object reference or something when we're using it in the blueprint. Now that we are done with this, let's actually set up an interface. So you can have a different folder hierarchy. This is not a good one right now. And let's just call this pickup. I'd call this BPI pickup. BPI refers to blueprint interface. Now under let's actually create the first function, and let's actually create the function called pickup. And you could have your own pickup logic. I will get to how to implement that. Now let's head into our BP weapon pickup. Now inside of here we need a static mesh, so we'll be replacing this with a static mesh. So static mesh, and just put it on top. So we need to change it in the pickup as well because we have inherited it. So static mesh, so this one's going to be the pickup object. And what we want it to do, let's just take a cube for example, and we want it to simulate physics. Oops, simulate physics. And we want this one to tick, and most importantly, if you have a multiplayer game, you want this to be replicated, and you want it to replicate movement as well. Those are the two things that you need to check. And you can of course disable tick on this one as well. You don't really need tick. Now that we have the pickup object, we can remove that. Now we can change our static mesh over here. Now what this will allow us to do is, now that we have our weapon pickup, we can actually create a child blueprint class for this. And let's say for example we have an AK-47, or we'll just call it weapon 1 and weapon 2. Weapon 1 pickup. So let's actually organize this a bit. So pickups and weapons, or I'd rather call this main weapons. So you can drag the weapon in the main weapons folder, and you can drag the pickups inside the pickups folder, and we can have the interface and the enum over here. Now inside the BP weapon master, if you open it up, so we don't need to implement it in here actually. Go to BP or the pickup one. Now inside the class settings, you can go ahead and add the pickup interface that we just created. Now what this is going to allow us to do is, if you go ahead and if you right click and type in implement event, if you click on that, now you can implement what you want, the logic that you want to execute when this is fired. We won't be doing it in the base class, however. So in the weapon pickup, so this is going to be a common one. So have this right here, implement the event. Now this is going to be common for all the classes that are derived from this. So let's just do a print string. You should of course implement your logic. So print string picked up. So once we are done with that, we can actually go ahead and test some of this logic out by heading into our first person character and setting up the logic for it. You would do this inside your character. So let's just create a keybind. So F key on your keyboard. You could use the E key or something. Let's just trace, and before we do that, for the pickup actually, we can have a sphere collision. Now why are we adding a sphere collision to this? It's a good question. The reason is so that we can detect whether we have overlapped this or not. So that's how we are going to be using this basically to detect it. Now heading back, so we are going to get overlapping actors of class pickup Now what we want to do is get the first actor. Now this is where the solution to the problem my Discord member mentioned comes in. So here you don't really need to cast it for pickup. Of course the same logic applies for the HUD as well. So what you can do with this is you can type in pickup. Now this is automatically going to fire it. If it's not a pickup object, it's going to say pickup failed. Let's actually make it do that. So the way you do it is actually we have a class filter. So we don't need to cast either way, to be honest. So yeah, let's actually go ahead and test it out. Should work. So grab the pickup or the weapon pickup. So pickups, weapon 1 pickup. Remember, we won't be putting in the pickup or the BP weapon pickup. These are just the base classes which will contain the variables. Now nothing happens. Now if I overlap, it says picked up. And of course you can have your own logic after that. So I guess that's it for this video, guys. I don't want to extend the videos for too long. In the next part we'll be continuing and we'll be talking about spawning the weapon and maybe having some basic HUD logic. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and more importantly, I hope this gave you a better idea on, or actually gave you an idea on how you could build upon your own weapon systems in your game. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.